But no matter what comes next, I still have to face the ending.
Okay. I, the professor, have hung back and watched all of this transpire. All of these individual mechanisms. And I want to approach somebody different.
Who do you want to approach?
Literally just somebody that they haven't talked to. Like somebody who has had their back turned to the entire situation. Maybe like a worker on break. That sort of scenario.
All
like
right, so
somebody
I
off sitting
envision
off the
this.
edge, eating their lunch, and I'm going to sit down and eat lunch next to them. That sort of thing.
Okay. So they're munching away. You sit down, they give you a bit of a nod.
How's it going? What you eating?
Mushroom bread. You?
Nothing. I left my lunch at home. Real awkward. I was really hoping that maybe you'd be keen on sharing.
Yeah, he gives a bit of a shrug and tears off a small piece of the bread.
You're a good man. Tell you what, I'll owe you one. What's your name?
Name's Jimmy. You?
Are you the only Jimmy on the dock? Because I mean, otherwise it might be awkward if I come back with like a lunch one day and say, "Hey, where's Jimmy?" And they go, "Which one?"
Jimmy Rook.
Jimmy Rook. Pleasure to meet you.
What brings you by?
Actually, I'm around looking for information.
Okay.
Well, you see, I got my hands on something, and I got to know what its value is, and where to find its owner, actually. It seemed to me that docks, or wherever I am right now, would be the best place.
He looks around at the rail yard. Oh, yeah? What makes you think that?
You know, men of the land, they know things more than those people up there in the towers do, right?
Gives a bit of a shrug.
Oh, don't sell yourself short.
He's getting a bit suspicious, but why don't you give me a consort? Like you're trying to do this in a nice way.
I mean, I don't know what you're getting suspicious about. I'm literally just saying everything is truthful. Getting suspicious. I don't know shit. Get out of here. Pushes him into the ocean.
Well, he's sitting in the rail yard on his work day, and this random guy comes up and sits down beside him, so it is Dustfall.
Alright, well, I have no dice in consort, so completely random roll. What's my position?
Because you've picked someone who's outside this argument, it's probably controlled at the moment.
Effect?
Standard?
No dice. Ha! May the odds always be against us.
All right.
Doing great.
Who needs better than a 3? I say coast on sub-mediocrity.
All right, so he is working hard to get himself out of that situation, finishes up what he's eaten, and makes his way back to work.
Still, I'm gonna hit you back. Gonna hit you back for that meal.
He kind of nods as he's leaving, but he seems a little bit shaken.
Jimmy Rook. It's a good man.
All right, guys. What's the next plan?
Well, I think at this point, Bishop's going to kind of just stroke his chin and go, well, we really need to work on our presentation, I think. I don't think we get across the right message to a lot of people, but we'll put that on the back burner.
I mean, these are
and
our
I'm going
allies.
to try and I'm going to go try hunting for an actual job. This was like the incidental, I suppose. So now I'll go ahead and try actually hunting and hit up some contacts.
I mean, this is how we do with the people that can tolerate us.
Why don't we go see Nael and see if she's got a job for us?
Well, yeah, very true.
All right, so it's been a few days since the last one. You guys contact Nael, and she does have to have something that's coming in that could be up your alley.
Oh, well, do tell.
Well, I've heard one of the Leviathan hunters coming back from this season's hunt made a couple stops that, might not look good if the cargo showed up in the docks.
Ah, I see. So, to meet them at sea, I suppose?
Well, the only issue is you're going to have to meet them just outside the barrier.
Hmm. So it might be a little bit tough, but I think my crew's up for the job.
And she looks a little shocked at, oh, good. Good.
They're a little antsy, they want some action, and, well, a little boat trip never hurt anybody.
All right. So what you're gonna need to do is meet them just outside the barrier. They're gonna stop, saying they're having some issues. They're gonna need you to take some things, I don't know what, to Coleridge.
To Coleridge. Let's take a look at that beautiful map again. Is this Coleridge we're looking at here, actually? Oh, no, that was just the zoom in. Hey, there we go. Coleridge.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, I think... Yeah, this is one of the central islands, so just in the middle of the city, basically.
Yeah. They're gonna need it at somewhere on Bankside. I don't have the details yet. You're gonna have to get them when you pick up the stuff.
That's all right. I
Understood.
know the area pretty well.
A very on-the-fly sort of task. I think we can handle it. My crew is sharp. They'll know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I suppose you've already arranged the payment.
I've arranged most of it, yeah. We can offer you 3 coin for this.
3 coin, in and out, just past the gate.
That's all it should be.
Oh, that's all it should be. Then it sounds like a bargain to me.
And she shakes your
Unless
hand.
there's like some particular skill for just like negotiating that I'm just completely missing here.
It would be consort if you wanted to try and push your luck or something.
Right, but there probably are actual consequences to pushing my luck here, right?
Good possibility.
Yeah, I'll just go ahead and do it. This sounds like a pretty easy and straightforward thing for us to do, so let's go ahead and do it.
All right.
So I'll go ahead and shake hands.
She shakes your hands and tells you the boat should be in sometime tonight. You're going to need to make arrangements to get through the gate. Or not get through the gate, to get out there.
All right. So I'll go ahead. I'll go back to the team and I'll say, simple mission, 15-minute adventure, in and out, go past the gate, get some packages, bring them to Coleridge. And then get money. Couldn't be simpler.
You should give us a time window.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, she did. It'll be tonight.
Well, I better make sure that the boys are ready to go then.
As we should. I suppose the first question is there anything we should be aware of trying to get past the gate there? Do we have to have static shock suits or what's going on?
As you can see, the little X's are what produces the lightning barrier. So in order to get through it, you would have to pass right by one of them to avoid the field itself.
Okay.
Perhaps
Would we have to disable it, I suppose?
You'd either have to pass through the area or have a way to get through the field itself. Like, imagine by the field there would be much smaller passage areas. Like, each of the big ones is a large tower, the other are small rods. But there are passages there for people to pass through.
Help me to imagine this, because I haven't really read a lot of the source material. Is it because when we keep describing this, I keep thinking of like Final Fantasy Spirits Within. Is this the problem that we have?
It's very much the problem you have outside.
So definitely do not try to turn any of the field off.
Oh yeah, no, that could end badly.
Right.
Kill us
so
all.
I guess we're more looking at having a lightning rod here to try to give us a wider berth of passage then, right?
You would need some kind of device to pass through if you're going through anywhere that isn't one of those points.
Right. So, on one hand, we should search for those points. On the other hand, Professor, I think I have a job for you.
What's that?
Well, as I said, I believe maybe we need a lightning rod. Just in case, we aren't able to find a quick and easy passage, or something happens, I'd like to have one so that we can get back in or out as needed.
Just to put it in context for me, thanks. What tier level of item would a lightning rod be?
Something that could divert from being shocked from the city shield would probably be around tier 4 or 5.
Which is literally the maximum we could reach at our
Yeah, like
gang
that's
level.
some crazy spark craft there.
Mm.
I mean, that's considering if I'm exceptionally good at dice rolling, which I'm not.
And have time to do it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's what, invention plus, or is that already an
Yeah.
item that exists?
It's not going to exist, so you'd have to invent it first and then
Right.
build it.
Which is 2 different long-term projects.
What if instead we pull up to one of the actual rods for the barrier? Do you think you might be able to tinker with it to make us a little bit more room to get through, just very temporarily?
Like, what, set up a flicker? So it drops for just long enough to get us through?
Well, the thing
This
is
is why we have you around, Professor. You're a genius.
If you sail by one of the rods, you'll be fine. It's
okay.
Once you get a little from the rod is where the field picks up.
Mm-hmm.
Like this rod here up by the mark is big enough to allow large ships through.
Right.
I guess my questions started to go into the metaphysical. Like, if it keeps ghosts out, is the human soul a ghost? Will I lose my soul passing through the barrier?
Well,
That's word on the street.
Is there a part of me that will be lost traveling through a barrier that keeps the dead souls of humans out?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you travel through the barrier itself is made of raw electricity. So less worried about your soul and more being burned to a crisp.
Right.
Yeah, if it kills you, you'll be stuck there forever. And
Well,
it's
I'll be stuck on
electricity,
the inside of the city, though, right? Not the outside.
So I think probably now is the time where I should go and talk to one of my own friends, August, a master architect, about the nature of these pylons and our possible safe passage.
All right, so that's how Edward's preparing. How are the other 3 of you? Are you doing anything to prepare for this?
I mean, I'm with Grit on the sabotage the thing so that it will flicker as we pass by it instead of shutting it down or anything. Or the double long-term project of lightning rod.
If you're saying that we can generally safe passage through that area anyway, then I'm not too worried.
Well, then it becomes book passage on a... Well, we already got passage on a boat. Never mind. We're fine. We're fine. What are we doing?
That's why your crew was hired. You have a boat.
Yeah, that's it. I'm gonna go spend some time with the icebreakers, making sure that the legitimate business is ready to sail.
Actually, before you leave, Grit, I have this other invention I think you should probably try out. I call it soap. I spent a long time working on it. I'd like you to be my first test subject.
That's a good one, Professor. Funny bugger you are. I get it.
No, really, you're gonna get something in your eye in a real consequential moment, and it's really gonna mess up your aim or something. I really think you should get all that dirt and gruff off of you.
Oh, just gonna get dirty again, mate. It's a waste of time.
There's a thing called germs. I know we're in the end times, but germ theory is still a thing, and you should probably look into it.
Such a comedian, mate. I love it. It's just like throwing these over his shoulder as he's walking out towards the dog.
Take a bath!
Pariso, are you doing anything to prepare for this?
It sounds like you guys have the right idea. We're just going to go ahead and sail through it. And I've already prepared. I've got a bomb.
Fair.
How much load does this take up?
It is just going to be 1 tick on your sheet.
Yes.
Which you can obviously decide later. So just hit the plus sign and put Professor's Bomb onto your sheet as an option. Or actually, I can do that for you.
I don't suppose you could pull us up that Coleridge map again.
I
Because
can.
that is one thing I might do before we leave, is go and have a walk around the part of town that she mentioned, just to make sure I have a good lay of the land. Right, so there's no... She said Bankside, right? There's no docks on that side of Coleridge. They're all over down the south side. So depending what sort of size object we're moving, we might need to dock somewhere in the south side near the ironworks.
Well, that's just where all the big docks are. I think as was stated last time, there's also small docks literally everywhere.
Mhm.
Just rolling up into someone's driveway and unloading will be suspicious.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, well, I'll try and keep him off us.
Oh, there's even a little canal there on the side.
Well, yeah, there's canals
Right
all
next to
over.
Bankside. Yeah.
Right on the corner of
Yeah, I had a
handoff.
cousin what lived in Bankside, but he got the consumption. Too much smoke.
I don't think that's how you get consumption.
You're not a doctor, mate. You're a professor.
Yeah, that's why you call me doctor. Doctor Professor.
Oh,
I got my
is that what
doctorate.
we call him?
I have a doctorate. That's why I became a professor. I'm
I
tenured.
see.
I would have been tenured had the academy still existed.
I
Anyway.
don't know what most of those words mean, but I know consumption when I see it.
Well, of course.
He was coughing up black stuff.
All right. So, Edward, you're meeting with the master architect.
That's right. I'm gonna bring a fine bottle of whiskey with me. We're gonna have a pleasant drink, and we're gonna talk about business.
Mm-hmm. So, Agus, how do you know him? Is it Agus? Agus?
On the sheet it says Agus.
Yeah. How do you know him?
Well, I think we're both wonderful purveyors of fine theater and opera. Which is to say, we share the same vice.
Mhm.
I think that's a good point to meet anyone.
Oh, yeah. At least gives you some connection.
Mhm.
So, you're meeting him probably at the theater or some luncheon near White Crown. Edward, it's been a long time. Where have you been?
Just attending to business, I suppose. It's been a long week so far, but well, I think I always have something lined up. But short break for today.
That's
Oh, do you
good.
mind if I sit down with you?
Have a seat.
Of course, of course. Oh, I brought you a small gift, and of course I'll break out the wine and pour us ourselves a glass.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I hope everything's been all right with you. They haven't been working you ragged, have they? Too many charts,
Always.
not enough time.
Always, but it's worth it for the coin.
I see. Well, speaking of coin, I do have another bit of work lined up soon. And I was hoping maybe you could
Oh.
answer me a few questions.
It depends. Is this honest work? He says, trying not to laugh.
Oh, the day I start doing honest work, perhaps I will never have to work again.
All right.
But there's some few questions I have to ask about the barrier, and I'll start talking to him about particulars, of course.
Yeah, and he kind of stops mid-drink, looks at you. You're not gonna do anything to harm the barrier, are you?
Oh gosh, I hope not.
Oh, okay.
In fact, I'd rather like to do absolutely nothing to it and avoid its wrath at the same time.
All right. Right.
Only need to for a day, but as I understand it, there are ways to wiggle past it, or areas that it doesn't cover quite so well.
Yeah, it's mostly for the docks and the rails.
Indeed. But some of them are smaller than others, and there's not full coverage. I figured as one of the city's best architects and brightest minds, of course, you'd understand a little bit more of how this actually functions. I understand the basic theory, but, well, you know more of the particulars.
And he begins to go into how the lightning barrier works, how near the
Mhm.
posts there's openings, but also certain times of day and certain spots there's a few openings. And you get a few
Mhm.
hints and clues of what might work out.
All right. And I guess my question is, what can this give us for when we go do it? And is there anything I need to do to make like a really good bonus for us later?
It's going to count as a +1 for the engagement roll once you
Mhm.
decide your route and everything. Like at this point, you have some knowledge, and as long as the engagement roll goes well, that knowledge is valid.
Wonderful. All right. So he spends some time ultimately educating me on the matter. And I suppose by the end of it, I'm going to be sort of profusely thanking him. It's like, I honestly don't know what I'd do without an intellect as bright as yours at my side.
And I don't know what to do where if I couldn't find this grape wine. I don't know where you get it, but it doesn't seem to be sold in the city.
That I'm going to keep my little secret for now, but rest assured, there'll always be more.
And he gives a nod and a cheer to you, and you can make it back to your crew.
I'll see you at the theater next week.
Of course.
Right. And so, well, I have our information.
So now it's just a matter of planning, unless anyone has anything else they want to do.
Now let's get into it. Sounds
Alright.
like it's engagement time.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty straightforward to me.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So
Until
now
trouble
we're at
happens.
the planning and load stage. Basically, you guys decide on what kind of operation you're trying to do and cover the question of that operation.
Hmm.
And it definitely sounds like we're doing a good old transport plan for our smuggling.
Indeed. I mean, that makes most sense. We're going to be doing that primarily here. And we're not expecting a fight or anything.
Yeah, I mean, we
Nope.
could try and assault a Leviathan Hunter frigate or whatever it is, but probably not our best idea.
Yeah, it sounds like a great idea. Let's just burn to the ground and steal everything. Yeah.
To be fair,
Huh?
it's probably the thing they're least expecting.
If you could get that Leviathan blood back and sell it, that would be quite the profit.
Mm.
I got just the
Uh,
gun for the job.
But my theory here is I'm going to go light, I'm going to be on the boat, and if we encounter any legal trouble, it'll be my job to basically lie our way through it. I'm also terrible at lying.
Yeah, that's fine. Better than me. I'm going traditionally heavy.
All right.
If anything goes
No,
wrong,
I'm also heavy, so we're the heavy crew.
I'm actually going to go normal this time because I might need a number of tools for a number of jobs.
Mm-hmm.
And don't forget armor.
I will.
That's right.
I will forget armor.
You will forget armor.
After last time, I'm surprised you don't just cover yourself in metal plates and live like that the rest of your life.
Look, you're always prepared for the last job, right? I'm not going to come to this job decked out in armor because last time I got shot.
You didn't get shot, you got beaten to a pulp. Slight difference.
Okay. I'm not gonna wear the stove cover on my chest because I'm gonna get called out in the middle of town. I don't know where my example's going anymore. Somebody just get me on the boat.
Yeah. Okay. What else was I thinking?
So this does sound like a simple transport job. Unless people want to make an argument for one of the others.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Sounds
we're
good to
happy
me.
with
We even have a
transport.
boat.
That we do.
So the only question I need from you guys now is, what is your route? What is your planned route?
We have to get out there. No portion of the city is necessarily more patrolled than others, I think, right?
Well, right White Crown and Brightstone, the streets would be much more patrolled.
Well, where's the
Right.
where's the boat that we get on to get to the mark?
You have a
Uh,
boat.
Ours is over here at the night
Oh,
market.
I thought we had signed up for a boat that was already somewhere else.
Right, we're going to there to pick up stuff.
Right. Okay. Well,
So we have to boat there to get there.
because I can see where our hideout is. I didn't know where the boat was that we had to start from was at.
Oh, it's nearby your lair, I would assume.
Okay, I didn't know that. I
Yeah,
thought it was something like I don't know. I had no idea.
So we have a boathouse as part of our.
So I guess I'm to assume
Right, but
like
it's not
this
our
area.
It's
This
not our
area.
boat. That's why I thought that the boat wouldn't be at our boathouse. I thought we had to go
It
to
is-
their boathouse.
It is technically, in terms of the mechanics of the game, our boat. The
Mhm.
crew are not always there.
Well, I mean more so that a guy came to us. I have a boat. You guys do this thing. Okay, let's store your boat at our house, though. I mean, you understand where I'm coming from.
Oh no, we're not getting their whole boat. We're getting stuff off their boat.
Oh, okay.
They have stuff they shouldn't have when they dock in the North Hook Canal.
Okay, I thought somebody else was hiring us to go on their boat to go to another boat. Sorry, I think
No,
I've
no,
added
no.
things
No, we're
to this
using our
mission.
own boat to get there.
I've added stuff to this mission that didn't exist.
Yeah.
So I guess the thing I'm going to say here is, am I to assume that these three areas would probably be the most heavily patrolled? The ones that I've circled here.
Yes, not so much the docks end, but at least midway, White Crown would be the most patrolled area. Yeah, like that area.
All right, so ultimately, if we were to route straight up this side and through here, that would probably get us the most observation.
What if our boat was some sort of underwater boat? Like a U-boat?
I'm into it.
Let's
Long-
get back to that in the future.
Long-term project.
We can't
All
do that by
long-term
tonight.
projects.
So the alternative then here is if we take a long route, basically all the way around White Crown. I'm going to propose at least that we could either go out far enough, or they don't care about what's outside the gate enough that we could actually circle around with fewer eyes. Is that correct?
There would be fewer human eyes on you, yes.
Right. So we'd be experiencing more danger but less heat. My question to everyone is, do we feel that we're more confident sneaking past our mortal brethren, or do we want to deal with all the dangers at sea?
Well, it's still harbor, technically. The line doesn't really cross
Yeah.
into the sea part.
We're still probably not swimming home after that. So my question is, how does everyone feel?
I think we should do the safer route.
Wait,
Great, any opinions?
safer in which way? Because again, we're still weighing human trouble versus ghost trouble? I don't...
Yeah, human versus supernatural trouble.
I'm looking at our crew, and I think we're better off dealing with human trouble. Nobody here is especially good at dealing with the supernatural, and some of us are pretty good at dealing with the natural.
as a matter of
Definitely.
reference, I do have 2 dots and a tune, which I'm pretty sure is supernatural skill, right?
Yes, but you're
I'm
not
good
doing
too.
any fighting, I'll say, poking you in your broken ribs.
Don't make me set that bomb off.
Alright, so the first leg of
Please.
our journey is probably
No
going to
bomb.
be up around this western canal then. Or eastern canal.
I think it's the most direct route, and as Theo has so eloquently put it, I can't punch no ghosts. So
Right. The second
we're
leg of our
lucky-
journey, we're already
If we're
outside.
lucky, people will attack us, and they'll have heavy purses and empty heads.
One
that
can
sounds
only
good to
hope.
me.
Look,
How do we
I
get that
wasn't
community?
I wasn't beaten up by a bunch of ghosts, is what I'm throwing out there.
Alright,
Yeah, well, I'm still mad about that.
so
The whole
after
idea
we've
was for
reached
you
our
not
mark
to get
then,
seen.
we need to head to the handoff. Here we have the same option. We can encounter more human eyes, or we could go all the way around, avoid attention, and then proceed to the handoff after dealing with Ghost. Again, you made a pretty good case. We're not exactly going to punch some Ghost.
I think the quicker we get it done, the better.
In which case, we'll probably be heading, I suppose, straight back down this path, and then head around the night market to here.
Works for me, boss.
So we basically retrace the same steps and head back to Coleridge.
Right, so if we get spotted at any point during our path out, we're going to get spotted on our path back in.
That might be more suspicious than
Right.
if we were only seen going out, maybe for a
If we are seen
nighttime
going
eel
out,
fishing trip.
we probably do want to make the longer trip all the way around like this.
Well, no.
Outside the barrier?
Where
don't just wanna go through
you
the-
stopped right
through the
there and
tunnel?
just come back around this way and just... Just so long as we're not crossing back on our own path.
Right. Ultimately, it depends on how much attention we draw in the first place, so I'm going to say, everyone, don't draw any attention. That's simple, I can just say that, and if it doesn't happen, I'll blame you all.
I'm into it.
Alright, then I think we have our route.
All right, just so I'm clear, you're going to come up through the canal by 6 Towers to the mark,
Correct.
and then back down between the docks and Brightstone.
That's the initial plan, yes.
All right.
That is plan A.
And of course, the longer plan is plan B if everything goes terribly. Alright, so we got our route, we got our boat, we got our plan. I have a bunch of notes. Let's do this.
Now we're just
All
drawing
right.
every possible plan now.
I'm just drawing the red one because that's the main plan. So
Yeah. I drew the blue one, the dark
Mhm.
blue one, as an alternative if we want to stay outside the barrier as long as possible.
Someone's in the back of the boat doing a Doctor Strange, looking at every possibility.
all right.
It's about how I do my plans. I go like, well, here's every possible option. I guess we're doing all of them now.
So we
So I'm
park
gonna
off
roll
of
some dice.
Brightstone, and then we go through the sewers.
I'm going to roll the engagement dice to see where this engagement is starting.
Oh boy.
All the way to the
5.
wedding.
So not perfect, but in an okay position. So you've slipped through, you've made your way up past 6 Towers in Brightstone without any hitch. You've slipped past the little post of the lightning barrier there. There's a couple people working out on there, but that's pretty standard. No one's paying much
Mhm.
mind. You're a small boat, and there's huge boats coming in and out. Heading out into the waters a bit, you can hear the wails of ghosts from this side of the barrier. You don't see any, but you hear them.
Hmm.
There's no other telltale signs they're here. Over near an abandoned part of the city, you see this large frigate, kind of close to the shore. It looks like they've let anchors down. Seeing the inscription on the side of the frigate, you're sure this is where you're supposed to meet the people.
Wonderful. So we'll go ahead, right up alongside, and begin the meet.
Mhm. So a lot of you tie off to the ship's boarding and make your way up to deck. There's only a few people out with some lanterns. And as you approach, they're dressed very warm. It's quite chilly out here. And as they approach you, they look you up and down. Are
Alright.
you the Teeth? One of the masks?
That would be us. Bishop, a pleasure.
Sure. And he starts walking a little further back. This way.
And I'm going to follow them. Got Gert at my side and everything.
So a lot of them come, and you come to some cages. Inside, you see something covered over with a blanket. Most of the cages covered. There you go.
Just the one?
Just the one. Now, the cage is big enough to hold several people, but whatever this mass is covered by a blanket.
Right, so we just had to transfer this over to our boat now. Simple as that. Oh, Grit,
Now, we got
this is why I
some
brought you.
equipment. We can lower it down if you want.
That'll be a good idea. Let's get it good and situated.
So
Our
the
mutual friend said that you'd let us know exactly where to take it. Presumably, they'll have relevant equipment to get it off the boat again.
Oh, I don't know about that. I know where you're taking it. You're going to Bankside and just around the corner off the main street, and he gives you directions showing you where the handoff is.
Okay.
Right. We're going to need to have some way to move this thing once we get it back on land.
Right. We don't have to take it very far, at least.
True.
And this is going to be hard to do subtly.
Well, as long
let's
as it
get on the
gets
boat
there.
first.
So they get some pulleys and that, and their crew lowers it down into your boat. It's quite heavy. The boat rocks a bit, but you're designed to move cargo, so it's not that big a deal. The
Right.
Icelanders seem a little excited, looking at the cage, trying to figure out what's inside.
The less we know, maybe the better right now. So keep your hands off of course. But yeah, so we have it loaded up. Well, that was at least the simplest part of this plan. Now for the difficult part. Actually bringing it back in without being caught.
Given the size of this thing, I'm not sure if we want to be sailing it right past the docks on Brightstone.
It's a very good point. Well, we do have a chance to reconsider. Plan B?
What do you reckon, Crusoe? Is it worth staying out here in the dark?
Yeah, you got any opinion down there, Raf? Same as before?
Yeah, same as before. I deal with threats better when they're in my face, and everything
That's fair.
there's too many known unknowns.
Right,
Yeah.
we're already decked to the nines for this. We're
Alright.
going to proceed with Plan A then.
Right. So as you're getting closer to the lightning barrier, there's a sudden chill in the air. You start seeing your breath.
It's not very good. I'll just sort of instinctively clutch the Spirit Bane charm I have.
As I assume a lot of you do a similar thing.
Yeah. Similarly, I have a Spirit Bane charm here on my items, I think.
Mm-hmm. You start seeing hands reaching up, ghostly figures stretching out and grabbing the side of the boat.
Oh no, social contact. Get it away.
If only the professor were here, I know he'd have a solution for this problem.
Oh, is the professor not here?
The professor stepped away for a second.
He is. He's just stepped away from his chair.
Okay. Oh, well, that was an interesting choice.
I do have one idea.
Go ahead. What do you have, Grit?
So, Matt, talk to me about a flashback to right before we left for this gig. I opened up that box and took the electroplasmic ammunition that was in it.
Absolutely.
Just in case we had to shoot some ghosts.
All right, so that's going to cost you a stress.
All right.
Actually, no, it's something available to your crew. You would
Yeah,
just
I
have
mean,
to
it's
take
right
the
there.
loadout for the pistol,
Mm-hmm.
and then
I'm
a
not
loadout
gonna-
for the electric ammo.
Yeah. I think this is I'm not necessarily going to use. I'll take the load for the ammunition,
Mm-hmm.
and I just pull it out of my jacket, and I'm like, "Look, I know I wasn't meant to mess with it, but I brought this because you said ghosts. Do you want me to shoot at them?
Not unless we have to. We should see if the professor can do anything to resolve this first. I think also, incidentally, you two are decked in heavy gear. There's one alternative you could do as well. Arcane implements. You could just take some bottles of ectoplasm and throw it at it, and I think that's supposed to make them go away for a bit.
Oh, if they're hungry, they'll chase the ectoplasm.
Right,
If
so
they have
that's also an
arcane
option.
influence, they do. That is an option for them.
Right, so I'm going to suggest holding tight to that ammunition and maybe just throw a distraction first and see if it works.
I mean, yeah, the professor would be the one to deal with this, and of course they're not here.
Mm-hmm.
Because I assume they would be the only one who actually has them. This is frustrating.
Yeah. Would
That's
that be like an attune roll to like do the distraction, I suppose? Is going to be my question.
Depending on how you're going about it. It would usually be a tune.
Mm-hmm.
If you're using, like the gun could be skirmish.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's something we definitely have plenty of.
But like most of the arcane implements would be a tune, trying something through that.
Okay.
You could try talking to the ghost depending on how they react.
Just yell over the boat, "Oi, fuck off, ghost!" The professor has returned, but they're still in the middle of things. Let's see. Intimidation is actually a good idea. I will attempt to command the ghost to go away. I'm going to tell them I'm too important and they dare not get a step closer.
All right, so you wave your spirit charm around, make threats. Give me a command. It's a risky position.
Mm-hmm.
It's a limited effect. Did you want to push yourself in some way?
I absolutely do want to push myself. I'm going to take 2 stress for that.
For an extra dice or to move up to standard effect?
What would be better in this circumstance? What does moving up to standard get me here again? That makes the dice roll easier, or what's happening?
It makes, if it's successful, it's going to be more potent. Like right now, you're limited effect. They're not overly afraid of you, but with these threats, they may avoid you specifically.
Mm-hmm.
With standard effect, they're going to be a little more nervous, maybe stop their approach, but not give up entirely.
Let's try standard. Let's just see if yelling at them works.
Right,
So I'll push that
command.
up.
Yeah.
And I won't get the extra die.
I'll spend a stress to give you a bonus die here, and I'll assist you by, as soon as I see you start yelling at them and waving your spirit bane charm around, I'm gonna wave mine around in the air as well.
Yes, just like we planned. Like we were trying to ward off street thugs and urchins.
All right. So I'll give you the bonus die.
5 and a 6.
All right, so most of them are out of the water, but they aren't on the boat, and they kind of pause at you two wielding these spirit bane charms. They seem a little more hesitant, but they haven't given up.
Mm-hmm.
So you can count maybe 7, 8 of them. There's a lot of ghosts in one place.
Ooh. Very spooky action.
Well, it's just ghosts. What can they do to us?
Any chance you can make this boat move any faster?
That would be a good question, actually. Hey, why don't you give that a try? As long as we're putting a delay on it, let's go a little faster.
All right. So you encourage the icebreakers to get the boat moving a little quicker. They're paddling with all their heart. Now, here's the issue coming up. You're coming up to that opening that the ghost may not know is an opening.
That's right.
This is where we really need that professor. Do we want to take a quick break while we wait for Theta?
Yeah, let's give us a 5-minute break. People can get drinks, take bio breaks as needed, and we'll be back.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and leave a message just so that he can... Oh, you're on top of it. Good job. All right, and we'll all be back in just a couple minutes.